Righty ho folks, about to leave Ipswich on our way to Colchester, so I'll do a bit of filming as we go, obviously taking notice of our driving. Try not to run Andrew over. Admire all these nice shiny Hyundais as we depart, or not depart as there's a vehicle in the way. Hopefully it'll reverse up in a minute. Good man. Breathe in for the narrow gap. Yeah, you thought I was going to run that over, didn't you? See you on Thursday.
See you Thursday, mate.
Cheers. Thank you. Oh, they got a delivery. Transporters here with some new stock. Woohoo! I'll take this advantage to get out of there. That's handy. This is blocking the lane. And off we go. Hyundai Endeavour in Ipswich is on the Ransoms Euro Park should you wish to pay them a visit. They will certainly look after you. A fine selection of eateries just around the corner, as you probably saw. Always a bonus. We're just going to head out back onto the A14 and then onto the A12. Military vehicle there. The main reason for this video is I'm testing out a new suction mount for the Osmo Pocket 3 or any action cameras, smartphones, etc, and seeing how well it works. And hopefully we can employ that in some of our photo shoots for customers, and also when we're out on the boat to get some sort of decent footage, moving footage of the boat. We shall see. Find out what this comes out like. Seems to be tracking quite well, the camera. Oh, the bad news is spots of rain on the windscreen. We don't want that on a photography day, do we? Oh dear. Oh, that's only a very fleeting few drops of rain. I hope the wind's not too bad because I've got the window open, so hopefully the microphone is legible. Just approaching the Orwell Bridge in a minute, so we'll be going over the Orwell Bridge, River Orwell below it. Goes without saying really, doesn't it? I'll state the obvious anyway. So we're going over the Orwell Bridge, then we're going to peel off at the A14 and go on the back road towards Endeavour Colchester, which is actually in Ardleigh. So we're going to go through Brantham, sort of on the outside of Manningtree, that way on the back roads, which will be a bit more pleasant than the dual carriageway, hopefully. You'll find out in a minute. Over the bridge we go. I'm hoping the gimbal on the mount will absorb a lot of the motion and make it fairly smooth, but as I say, we will find that out later. I'm hoping that wind isn't too bad. I'm going to shut the window. Yeah, that might be a bit better. Yeah, apologies for that, but I have no working air conditioning, long story, so our air conditioning at the moment is the window, so I'll leave it shut until we peel off the dual carriageway, then I'll possibly open it again before I suffocate. Some may find that a good thing, but I'll give it a swerve. Nice clouds out there. Should be quite. I've got a polarising filter on the front of the Osmo Pocket 3, so hopefully that will make them pop quite nicely. So we're taking this exit just coming up. Take you down some country roads. Turned right at this roundabout and then over the next roundabout and down the hill, you'll end up at Fox's Marina, but we're not going there, so not today anyway. A lot of traffic, considering it's half term. Going past the entrance to Jimmy's Farm, if you remember that, when it was a TV show. I didn't watch it, but I knew it existed. So just on the right hand side coming up is the entrance to Jimmy's Farm. Should you ever want to visit Jimmy's Farm, you now know where it is. There we go. Hoping the face tracking would work, so I'll just put the camera around the other way, because I know you'll miss seeing my face in the video, so I aim to please, but I will put you back in the view, on the view, in the view, with the view, shortly. Fairly pleasant run to Ardleigh down this road. We'll go over the Stour shortly as we head into Constable country. We'll go through the village of Bramtham, then into Manningtree on our way to Ardleigh. We'll go past Ardleigh Reservoir as well, that you won't really see on the camera, but it is there. Back on the outside view, as it's much more pleasant than me. Apart from those spits of rain again, I'll operate the windscreen wipers. As we exit Bramtham and go past the sluice gates, we then go underneath the railway line, which is where Manningtree railway station is. So you'll see that, but we've got a way to go before we get there. I'm going to leave the camera running the whole journey, hoping it doesn't run out of juice, but I may well edit it down in post afterwards, because 10 minutes of footage of a car going down a road might get a bit boring. And I've only got the one camera running, so I can't sort of like chop and change different views easily. What I am going to do though, guys, is I'm going to open that window again to let a bit of air in, and hopefully the wind noise won't be too horrific for you all. It's not fully open. Yes, there were some temporary traffic lights down here the other day, and they may still be in operation. Find out in a minute, but that might explain us coming to a near stop. Can't see them, but they may have moved. New builds there, all sold. That cough was me just checking the VU meters to see that the microphone is actually recording our voice, audio, sound, wind, etc. We'll be back up to the national speed limit on a B road in a minute. Something rather throaty down there. Looks like the back end of that yellow thing. Can't quite make out what it is from here. Makes more noise than the Ioniq 5 I was in a minute ago. Back down to a 30. There's a pub on the left. I do believe we frequented when the Clacton Camera Club went on its little extracurricular out-of-season adventures to Dedham and Flatford, and I believe we all met up for a quick drink before departing at that very pub. It was a few years ago now, but yeah, very enjoyable day it was too. Birds are all chirping in the trees. Not sure whether the mic will pick that up from out there, but you never know. At least at this speed the wind noise won't be too bad. Again, I have the wireless switched off because I don't want any copyright infringements to take place, so no music I'm afraid for this one, unless I insert something into the post-production footage afterwards. ought to point out, of course, for those that don't know, that we were in Suffolk, and very shortly we will be crossing the border into our deepest, darkest Essex. So it's a 2-county drive, this, in the British countryside. Coming up to in a minute they've just recently resurfaced or repatched a lot of it, because it was like pothole central. It was well, it looked like it had been shelled or something. Thankfully they've done it now, as you can probably see with the patches on the road. Big patch, that one. Stopper. Taking a bit of liquid refreshment while we're stopped. You have to wiggle your head a few times and then the tracking takes over. I'm going to work on the theory that there's some more traffic lights ahead for the reason we're stopped. Although the bins are all out, so it could be the bin lorry, I don't know. Find out in a minute, hopefully. There we go, brake lights are off on the car in front. I'll put you back on the view. I say the brake lights are off, they've gone back on again. I think I was a bit premature in my excitement there. Like waiting for paint to dry. That sounds like that throaty car in front. Can't see it, but I can certainly hear it. Yep, there's the traffic lights. I can now see the throaty car. It's like a homage to a rally spec car. I'm not entirely sure what it is still, but I'll zoom in later, see if I can see it better. I think it's a Ford Focus, but I'm not entirely sure, because obviously it's got, yeah, I think that's a Focus, I don't know. Here we go, can you see it? Like I say, with all the adornments on it and leery colours. You certainly heard it there, didn't you? That's why I stayed quiet. It is, by the way, as you can probably see in front of us, we have the, as I said earlier, it's peeled off now, the bin lorry, refuge lorry, call it what you will, it's now peeled off, so off we go. We're just approaching the river, which we'll be crossing, and then going under the railway line. Now you've got a choice with this railway crossing. You can go underneath it, but it's single lane only. We have the priority coming this way, or you can drive over the top, presuming the barriers are up and you have free path. Generally, when you're going this way, it's quicker to go underneath. But obviously tall vehicles and the like have no option other than to go over the top. So if the barriers are down, they've got to wait. So we're just going over the river now, you can probably see that. That's the Stour. You can can walk all the way down there and get into Flatford and Dedham, and you're right in Constable country. I should have been a tour guide, shouldn't I? Missed my vocation. Here we go, and the barriers are down, so it's a good job we can go this way. That's the Polestar. So it's our priority now. Some people that haven't quite copped onto that fact on the odd occasion when people have tried to go through when it's my priority. So again, at the moment there's 2 lanes there, but as you can probably see, the actual lane markings have pretty much faded away. It's not that obvious, especially to people that don't know the road. Not very good. Just up after the roundabout on the left hand side, there's a very nice garden centre that we haven't been to for a while, but we're not going there today because we're turning right. Also, just round the corner from us now is where the Tendring Show is held, which Clacton Camera Club will be attending again this year. Very much looking forward to that. Basically, if we swung a left there where it says Little Bromley, that will take you to where the Tendring Show, agricultural show, is held every year. Well worth a visit if you haven't before. There's a familiar sign at the moment, road closed ahead. Not too far to go now, folks. Little roadside cafe there on the left hand side, a Greasy Spoon. Never been in there, but there always seems to be vehicles parked there, so it must be fairly good. Should you be in need of a bacon roll, I'm guessing that would be the place to go when you're down this road. Unlike me not to have tried somewhere else that sells food. Never say never though. sorry I had to stop the recording there, guys. It just come up with a message on the Mimo app to say I've got less than a 10% of storage left, so I've just cut a few minutes of that journey out, as we're now pretty much approaching Ardleigh and Endeavour, Colchester. So I'll record us going into there, then I'll give that a wrap, because I'm going to run out of cards and I haven't brought any spare cards out with me for the Osmo Pocket 3. Got plenty of cards for the big proper camera, but nothing for the diddly camera. So anyway, I'll just put it on a slightly zoomed view as well as I've started recording again, so you don't have to look at my windscreen wipers. Just going past a little garage where literally I've only got about a mile to go now. So. And there's the fur and feathers. Sorry, the fur and feathers. I'm in Norfolk for a minute there. That's not the fur and feathers. That's a wooden fender. I do apologise, Ardleigh, which is a very, very nice pub. As is the fur and feathers, which is a Woodford Brewery pub on the Norfolk Broads. But anyway, I must have been daydreaming. I know I was in Acle yesterday, so possibly I was still in Norfolk world. That's the wooden fender in Ardleigh, which is a really, really good restaurant as well. So somewhere I have tried, unlike the Greasy Spoon down the road. Just gone past the Ardleigh Reservoir Sports place, where I think you can hire windsurfs and canoes and do all that sort of water sport activity. As we go back up this hill, we'll be going over the A12. Looking a right-hand turn into Endeavour, Ardleigh, Colchester, whichever you want to call it, Colchester really. And it's just started spitting with rain again. Let's hope that's as much as we're going to get. We have arrived, if I can get in there, which I can, if this man's going to let me go. Cheers, thank you. There we go. And here we are. Hyundais and Lotuses all looking lovely, as always. And on that, guys, I'm going to bid you farewell, because I need to find somewhere to park. So see you all on the next one.